Welcome back to our YouTube channel, guys. My name's Ardil and welcome back to the final behind the sound video on the absolutely stunning Lamborghini Aventador behind me. Hopefully you enjoyed the full series on this vehicle, going through from start to finish exactly what we've done and getting it to where we are now. I'm really happy with the finished piece that we've got now. I'm sure the customer's going to be over the moon with all of the extras that we've added in, plus it sounds absolutely spot on. So we're going to be talking you through a little bit more. Obviously, if you've seen the previous videos, we don't want to be touching on too much of that. That's kind of how the system was kind of built, put together with a little bit more detail. Today's video is all about that finished product, showcasing exactly how it looks and right at the end to the actual final customer itself. So underneath here, basically, we've got a new custom enclosure housing the amplifier rack. So we've got the Audison Voce 5.1K in there. Behind that, we've got the Audison bit processor. That's an Audison bit Nove. Basically, signals going from the head unit directly into that processor. We clean that up, we de-equalize the factory EQ settings from the factory head unit, we clean everything up, and then that sends clean, direct, new signals directly to the 5.1K to send out clean, strong, lovely sounding speaker signals basically into the new speaker configuration that we've got in the front. And that's where the big changes have come. However, one of the really cool things about doing a system on these Aventadors is obviously the roof needs to go into that factory position. There's bolt positions that basically click in to allow the roof to sit into there. What we've actually managed to do on this configuration is allow full access and full retention of that roof to click directly back into that position. The other really cool thing that we've done is got a little bit of perspex, a very little bit of white LED light in there, kind of to match over the vehicle. But also what we've managed to do is 3D print and design a Lamborghini badge that sits in there with the white Lamborghini writing and the Lamborghini logo on the black piece. It looks incredible. Plus kind of the thought and design process of that. So you see here where the contour steps up slightly and goes down and across. That's kind of replicated in the build, which is quite nice as well. So it all kind of matches and blends in exactly like Lamborghini would have done if they could install stuff like this to this high standard. In terms of inside the vehicle, as you can see here, we've got a front dash cam and we also have a rear dash cam which is actually just mounted in here. So this actually, literally, you've got a little bit of cable going up into there. Nothing really visible at all. We've got a little bit off center. Reason is obviously because of the limited visibility that you have on these vehicles, that's the only kind of viewpoint that you've got as rear view. So we didn't want to go right in the middle. So we've gone slightly off center. However, a really, really nice solution. The other thing about this system is got live view. So this is called the T700 from Thinkware. So you've got live view functionality. So you can actually see the car at any point. We've also installed a battery into the vehicle as well. Basically, this vehicle is now not only protected on the road while driving, but also while parked up, and the customer can now see that live directly from an app on his phone. But we'll do a full separate video just on the dash cam install that we've done here today on this particular car. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss that one. That's basically the dash cam install. The other cool little gadgets that we've done away from sound is we've integrated Target Blu Eye, which is an emergency service warning device. So that alerts you from all approaching emergency service vehicles, marked to unmarked vehicles, and that is actually integrated fully into the factory mirror. So what we've done is taken the display, stripped it across the PCB board, actually taken apart the factory Lamborghini mirror, and that is the original mirror that the car came in with. However, we've got LED lights now integrated in, 2 new buttons added in. It's a phenomenal bit of kit, and we'll do again another separate video live directly on that product alone if you are interested in just that. The other really cool thing that we've done is the kind of list goes on and on and on, but we've integrated Apple CarPlay into the factory Lamborghini screen. That's not just wired, that is wireless as well. So you've got wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, loads of functionality packed live directly into that unit. So obviously the unit didn't have Bluetooth streaming, it was limited in functionality, looked a bit dated. Now we've got full color screen, I've got Spotify integration, I've got Waze integration, I've got Google Maps, I've got Apple Maps, I've got my calendar, I've got my phone calls, I've got music streaming, I've got everything. Everything you could possibly want live directly on that screen. So it's exactly the same screen. It's an integration module that we use to do so, and we've literally got pretty much exactly the same system that we're going into Wilfried Zaha's car currently in my workshop. Then also what we've done in the back here, we've got some engine bay lighting which sets off the car so nicely. Worked off an ignition, so as soon as you turn the ignition on, that lights up. You've got 6 lights in there. On this occasion we've gone for white, however you can do whatever color you want. It sets it off really nicely, just adds a little bit more sort of depth into that engine bay, and it's exactly how it kind of should have come out from factory as well. But overall, a really, really nice little touch there as well. back onto the sound inside the vehicle, what's actually gone on. So obviously, as you guys have seen in the previous behind the sound videos, full dash removal to do this, guys, but it's well worth it. So what actually happens is we remove the dashboard to take out the A-pillars, then we fiberglass and fabricate new A-pillars to house the Audison Thesis tweeters into the A-pillar. However, on this occasion, we've gone for black Thesis tweeters, and we've also retrimmed that in Milano black as well, just so it blends in really, really nicely. And literally, you can't really tell that they're not a stock feature, which is quite nice. So that's kind of the cosmetic change on the front end, what's in front of you, but sonically, a world of difference. Having the tweeters actually on axis to you, directly powered and literally sounding sonically right towards you, it makes a world of difference. But also what we've managed to do is actually via the DSP do time correction. We can also delay and increase the speed when sound is outputting from each individual component, which is a massive thing. But also what we can do is actually measure the distances between the actual tweeter to your listening position, and we actually tune the system in such a way. Then inside the door, what we've gone for is a custom speaker adapter that houses the Audison Thesis 6.5-inch driver in a stock location, so you can't see a thing there. But one really important thing about this whole system is the amount of soundproofing that we've done. So we've used skin soundproofing, which is a 2mm layer basically inside the doors to still allow full operation for moving the door up and down, but also soundproof behind the dashboard and also all of the floor pan as well, which makes a world of difference as well. And this is all configured during an audio consultation. So during the audio consultation, when I was sat down with the customer in our consultation room, I actually went through everything bit by bit, and the consultation took a bit of time, but we got there, and this is where we've ended up. And this is why consultations are so important, because I can sit down and literally go through every detail with the customer. One thing that it was after was actually retaining the actual pocket space underneath where the sub is now located. Obviously, with this car being an Aventador, with the car being a supercar, it is limited for space. It's not like a normal hatchback car or anything like that. These cars are incredibly difficult to achieve what we do and the sound quality that we do in them. However, it's inch perfect now. So obviously, lack of space in footwells, lack of space overall in the vehicle, it means that we had to locate a sub here. Obviously, yes, it is a cosmetic change to the vehicle. However, this system is fully reversible. The way we've designed the sub box is actually bolted through to factory bolt position. So there's a panel where this system used to sit, actually in this same material. So what we've actually managed to do is unbolt that and strengthen those bolts, but bolt that system, bolt the sub back into the vehicle, but soundproofing that whole back piece. So creating a far more solid environment for that sub to perform and play through into the vehicle. So what we've actually managed to do here, so this is again matching the A-pillars Milano back piece with the indentation, and what the customer was also after is actually having the actual quilted effect, because that matches what's on the seats in the middle. What we've done is achieve that. The reason how we've done that is basically taken off this, actually the factory material. We've taken that off, cut a hole through the actual factory material there, mounted the sub through, and then built our box and fabricated with that in mind. However, we've still got full retention of the actual flap here, but also, so you've got your cigarette lighter socket, but what you've also got there is a DRC controller, which actually controls sub level, so you can actually adjust that yourself, but also you've got different presets that you can also configure onto that as well. Also, you've got the actual override light switch as well. So if, for instance, you didn't want the lights on while your ignition's on, you can manually override that and turn that off. And that's just a little rocker switch in there, out the way, tucked out the way. It's not going to be used very often, but it's another little element of control that you have now over the system. But the sub looks really, really nice in here. Really happy with the final design. It does kind of give off like a floating effect, and that is solely because of the retention of the pocket. Obviously, if we're moving that up, obviously, as you can see there, it needs to go up and it needs to be floating to allow for that. However, it looks really, really nice. I'm really happy with the finished product on the whole system. The car sounds incredible. The functionality that we've added makes a world of difference, not only driving the vehicle, but just day-to-day use. But the sound in the vehicle is the main thing we're going to be focusing on, and it is incredible. Obviously, on these YouTube videos, on these behind the sound videos, we would love to actually showcase what the car sounded like when it came in to when it came out. However, quality of obviously listening to a system like that over the internet on your phone or however you're listening, watching the video, is never gonna be able to appreciate what it actually sounds like. The best thing you guys to do, if you want to hear a system, if you're looking into getting a system installed, come by, see us, book an audio consultation with me. I'll actually sit down, design spec, and then we'll install your system. But you can have a listen to our demo car. I'll go through every little bit of detail, how it's going to sound. You can actually see some of the installs behind the scenes and perhaps listen to another car that's just been completed, but also we can have a listen to our demo car and we can go through everything in so much more detail. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. This is the final episode on the behind the sound for the Lamborghini Aventador. However, we've got plenty more videos coming, plenty more behind the sound. So if you are interested in something like this, you know exactly what to do, guys. Drop us a message on any of our social media platforms. We're more than happy to go through everything in more detail with you guys. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you soon.